Quad 66. Testing out a little bit of Walksnail here. As you can see, I've got a camera, separate camera, because Walksnail, I cannot get the audio straight onto it like I can with the HD0. But, you know, there's trade-offs to every system. So this one is the 1S little board, and it's got that 14mm camera. There are a couple different versions of a similar camera. This one, when I went through it, it looks like a native 16:9 resolution. Going through 4:3 and 16:9, I get the most picture with the 16:9. There is the like V3 nano camera, which is a native 4:3, and it has like a starlight. And apparently this camera is not that one. I'll go over that stuff a little bit more, but big thing here is I want to compare some range. The goggles I'm flying on are the Fat Shark, and I've liked these so far. My one issue is the transmitter. So it's a two-way with Walksnail, it's a two-way conversation, and the transmitter's up on this channel here, and the problem is patches down here and stubbies up here, so that may affect the range. I may have to either swap internally or maybe get a 90°, but I'm not sure if, let me pull this off. I'm a little bit worried that if I get a 90° connector, is that going to give me enough clearance on there? I don't know if that's going to work. So some things to work out. One of the things going through Walksnail with all this stuff, it's been hard to kind of just get like clear. It's always hard going to a new ecosystem, but in this case, it's like it's hard to get like what is the way to go, because they've got options for 1080 versus 720, high bit rate, standard bit rate, high frame rate, standard frame rate, and I kind of like, you know, tunability and adjustability, but at the same time, it's like just sometimes it's like just do one thing and optimize it really well. Because if you read about, and a lot of the information is old, but if you read about some of the stuff, people are saying, well, I'm not really sure if the high bit rate is better than the standard bit rate. And so I'm going to try some things, and we're just going to get some range and see how it goes for the first shot with the Walksnail system. So, starting off the feeling here, I don't know if the picture looks all that dramatically better than HD0. To me, the quad definitely feels, that's kind of a problem. So has that red box. The quad feels funny to me. And I'm not sure entirely where that's coming from. Whether that's going to be the latency issue, or I think this lens has a bunch of fisheye in it. And that distortion definitely bothers me. Yeah, picture quality looks good. Definitely looks good. So I'm on 720p, and this is the high frame rate, and it is the standard bit rate. Where's my satellites? 17. I got good satellites. For this flight, I am, because I just don't know what to expect with Walksnail, I am flying with a little 1S battery on the quad to specifically, geez, can't speak, Specifically, this camera does look good. This is definitely better picture quality. Definitely better reception. Although this doesn't break up, right? So that makes me so nervous. Let me test GPS rescue here. Oops, that's going to be GPS rescue. Come home. All right, you seem like you're coming home pretty good. Good. All right. So that I feel comfortable with that. So that's good. A little link quality issue. Why does it say choose channel? Maybe I should have chosen a channel when I started this. I don't know what it defaults to. Maybe it's 8 instead of channel 1. That's annoying if you have to choose a channel every time, especially since this VTX cooks pretty easily just sitting there. This little 1S VTX, it doesn't have a lot of material on it. That does look cool though. But look how much warp there is. Yeah, so I'm comfortably out here. This is what I wanted to get to, and it's doing it. So, good job, Walksnail, I guess. You did it. Because I really wanted to fly this little stretch, and it is doing it even though I have, see, I'm well past. With HD0, I was in trouble all over here. I'd probably even dive this. It's probably a bad idea, but yeah, with HD0, I was not having the type of link that I'd be doing this. So that's good. That makes me feel like I spent some worthwhile money. I wonder if I can run this whole rim. Battery is not super though. Oh, some kind of bird coming after me there. So this is my weaker battery. This is my 650, which doesn't seem to do as well as the 550s, interestingly enough. That was good range. Now I want a bigger battery. That's a pretty long flight though. Look, I'm already at 6 minutes. I think this battery's gonna do okay. Get me back. Cruising pretty fast. It tells me 70 kilometers an hour. So that's another annoying thing. Like to get the OSD back up here, I'm gonna have to do a bunch of post-processing, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that. I'm not sure if I'm actually even recording the OSD elements. So I don't know what this is going to look like in terms of the final video. Oh man, I think it's the lens. That feels like all kinds of distorted fisheye. So I don't know, something feels very weird. It's kind of making me feel a little dizzy, actually. Let me use this battery though to change the channel. Get that right. Just a good place to land. Okay, next battery up. So now we're gonna do same settings, so 720, and let's do this one over here. So 720, but now I've got so still the high frame rate, and now I'm doing the high bit rate also. And I'm on channel 1, so I don't know what I was on last time. And so I'm going to keep going through these and see how this holds up. Yeah, I'm getting a little low. So it's not really a range thing, that's just limits of the line of sight there. It does look good. Can really get into the details of the rock. So we'll do this one. Then I'm going to go to 1080p. Let's see if I can track this a little bit lower. I think I should be safe here for line of sight. Got a little bird flying past me there. Hey, checking me out. What kind of birds are you? Yeah, I think it's the fisheye in the lens that I'm not loving. Alright, so got a little bit of a flash of that red box, that link quality box. With the position of this VTX, I do, okay. This is not interesting. See that high bit rate, interesting. So I'm getting, I don't know if you can see it, maybe I'll have to try and do that thing where you put it back together. But I'm getting much more of I didn't see any red flashing box on the lower bit rate, and now I'm getting a whole bunch of red flashing box, meaning that the goggle is saying my link quality is suboptimal, I guess would be the way to phrase it. And I'm not sure if, yeah, see, I didn't get any red box. and now I get the red box pretty regularly. Clearly the picture is staying together a whole lot better than HD0. I mean, this was flying in the fuzz, but I'm a little bit concerned about pushing that. Yeah, that's a lot of fisheye. That's not as much of a horseshoe as that looks like. But I'm gonna start sliding back. I don't want to push these batteries and dump the quad too far away. On my last battery, I may, well, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna keep flying the same route. My satellite's not nearly as good. 13, it's still flying, but it's not how it was. It was at 17 before. Yeah, so it's interesting. On the higher bit rate, I got into the red box warning much earlier than with the lower bit rate. So I think for flying out here, you know, I think the lower bit rate's just the way to go. It's interesting, so the up close, I don't know, so like if I'm looking at the sand here, the sand looks pretty undetailed, kind of washed out to me. But this stuff looks pretty good. But alright, so let's drop this to the low bit rate and we will try 1080p and see if that holds up. Man, I don't like this lens, I think. Or the latency. Something feels not great. You know, I don't think I hit record on that last one. So I just flew the 720p high frame rate and high bit rate on that last pack. So in case in case I didn't record, I think I forgot to hit record. I put this on the auto record and it doesn't seem like it's doing that. Because when I hit the button, I get a clear, like flashing, record, little red icon, red light thing. But when I don't hit record, it doesn't do that. All right, so clearly the high bitrate thing really cut the range down. At least, I don't know if it cut it down a ton, but what I was getting was a bunch of the red box warning for link quality, where I got none on the lower bit rate. So now I'm on 1080p, back to the lower bit rate with the high frame rate. And so now we're going to try and kind of follow some of these same lines and see if the 1080p does anything magical for us in terms of detail. And as far as what I'm seeing through the goggles, my initial kind of like gut response is, I don't know, like it looks good, it looks great, but I don't know if I'm seeing anything dramatically different than the 720p. But we'll see as I come out here, you know, as we get into the range of this, we will see if I'm losing anything. So if I'm losing range, then I think the thing to do is just stick with 720 if I don't see much difference. But if it holds the range up, I don't know if there's a lot of downside to the 1080. Oh, it's the latency will be the downside, right? Yeah. So as these goggles, so I'm getting used to like where this stuff is and looking around. And this is definitely dropping down from like the 25 megabytes per second to 13. And so it's showing me 30, 40, 35 milliseconds of latency. But here on the high bit rate, I was getting a bunch of the link warning stuff. And this looks like it's doing okay. I feel like that wind is pushing me in there. Look at all that fisheye. I mean, 1080p is pretty good. That looks pretty good. And I'm getting no link warnings. I think down the bottom, I think I have some bars for the reception. I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate, but those were pretty accurate with HD0. This looks good. Camera looks good. Make sure I come around this and stay on the line of sight side. Kind of dawdled a little bit in there. I think I have to make my turn for home soon. It'll be interesting to look back at this and see, look for, yeah, I'm gonna have to turn for home. It will be really interesting to see what I get as far as how the video looks, whether I think it's different or not. Weird, I'm hearing voices, people hiking or something out here. It's not super common. Usually, I guess it's a Sunday, like on holiday weekend. Where are they? They're in the wash below me. I wonder if they'll notice me sitting up here. That's kind of why I'm quiet. I'm just trying to be a little stealthy. are you running? Oh, they're there. Interesting. Okay. So 1080p, high frame rate, low bit rate, or standard bit rate. Seemed pretty good. I should pay more attention though to the. Let's try that again. 3, 2, 1, arm. Okay. So I'm doing another 1080p flight. And so now I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to, so I'm at the standard frame rate, so it's showing me 25 megabytes per second, and showing me 34, and it's bumping up to like, so somewhere between 35, yeah, around 35 milliseconds, it's telling me the latency. This flight I'm doing a little bit different. There's a little keyhole, so from where I'm sitting, so there's a little gap, and from where I'm at, it looks like a keyhole. And I was always curious about seeing if I could put a drone through it. I'm not sure if I'm going to. I'm not even sure if it's a keyhole. It's probably, honestly, it's probably not. It's probably just, why am I getting weird? I got that little warning box. Strange. Maybe it's just the direction of the antenna. I was kind of surprised I got a couple little warning boxes there. So the red warning box about poor link quality. I'm trying to keep my head up here, keep it pointed where I think is the right direction. This is funny. This is so much further than you think it is just by looking at, just when you're sitting here looking at it. Just because stuff's so big, the rock feature's so big, the faces are so big that you underestimate distances. So there's the keyhole, and this should theoretically be. Whoa! Didn't mean to hit my GPS rescue. There's the keyhole. Well, interesting. So it doesn't really have a top on it. It looks like it. I don't want to get behind stuff here. Oh, that's it right there. Let me get a better look at what I'm dealing with here. That's a pretty cool slot in here. There it is. Ooh, that is... Oh, that is terrifying. Because I am so far away. I knew I would lose signal behind it too. I would definitely lose signal. There's no way. Oh my goodness. That is tiny. I'm surprised I can see it from all the way back. Holy cow, that is so small, and it's a true keyhole. Interesting. So I'm just kind of taking a look at what I have terrain-wise to block me. Not much there, so that looks pretty good. Sorry, not the most exciting flying, but hey, we're testing stuff out, right? We're learning about Walksnail. Oh geez, that just went super. I did not like that at all. Wow, that was slightly terrifying. So my picture, as I kind of looped over, not surprising to you, I'm pretty far. Oh boy, that got the heart rate up. As I kind of looped over, I'm sure I blocked the reception, and the picture just went very quickly, all like chopped up, frozen. Like it was pretty clear disconnect between. It was pretty clear that I did not have the information I needed to fly the quad. That was a pretty bad. Yeah, that got my heart rate way up. You know, it's harder to navigate with the fisheye here because it bends stuff and it's thrown off my like spatial understanding of where I'm at. So things I'm liking. The picture quality is great. This is fantastic. The range is much better than what I was getting with HD0. So in fairness here, I am flying on quote unquote 500 milliwatts. But then I saw some video somewhere where it's not really 500, it's actually 350. I don't know. It's hard to get good information, especially on Walksnail, it seems. So yeah, you know, maybe I'm blasting a lot more power, but it puts it out, so who cares? Like, you know, this little VTEX does it. Maybe that's going to be an issue when it's hot out. It's nice and cool out. It's like maybe 70 degrees at most. So I'm not flying in my usual heat that I deal with. But yeah, this picture quality is great. Some stuff definitely feels weird. I did not like the way that reception. So this kind of, to me, yeah, so that's like, I don't know if you saw that, but that was not right. Like, ugh. I don't know if this is going to come through on the DVR, but clearly like I'm losing some frames or something. Like something's going funny. You know, it's just, I'm sure I'm just losing, you know, the reception, but the way it does it is really unsettling to me. I like and maybe I'll get used to it more, but I like the HD0 fuzz. Like, I don't feel like I'm disconnecting the space-time relationship. I feel like I'm just, you know, like losing pixels. And to me, that's easier to deal with and safer to deal with than not knowing where the quad is. You know, slightly terrifying. Well, let me go out there with 720. Okay, last battery here. So why is it telling me the same latency? I'm supposedly on 720, but I'm still at 34, still telling me 34 milliseconds on the latency. The range is interesting. So the rangefinder is reading pretty accurate compared to the GPS. Yeah, I don't like that. So what I'm seeing is, instead of the picture staying nice and fluid, it goes choppy. Like choppy, and like it feels like it's freezing up. And to me, that's a really unsettling kind of feeling. I'm sure you get used to everything, but that is not it's not a pleasant initial experience there. I thought, yeah, see, that's a lot of fisheye. So things I'm not liking. One is I really don't like being able to control the VTX power and shut it off from the radio. So with HD0, you can put on a switch, so you have, VTX transmission off, 25 and 200, or whatever other options you have, and you can put on the three-way switch, and that's really nice. I'm not like running over to unplug the quad or having to, like, as soon as I plug it in, I'm kind of like on a, like on a timer that I've got to get it set before it cooks and overheats. Yeah, I mean, that's not necessarily like all that different from, I don't know, I shouldn't complain too much about that, but it's pretty annoying. I'm definitely not looking forward to having to put these videos back together with the sound off a separate camera and worried about, like, am I recording on everything? Am I doing what I need to do? Oh, yeah, see, that does not feel good. Oh, I wonder if that came through on the DVR. But, so as I came up, and clearly, like, I'm far out here. Like, should you be doing that? I don't know, maybe not. Maybe that's the answer, is like, don't do dumb stuff. But, if you want to go and tilt quickly and dive, if you bring the quad between the body of the quad between you and the VTX, and you block yourself out. I'm a little nervous about getting behind that rock. Should be above it. It's clearly like blocking the reception and causing me all kinds of just feeling uncomfortable. Like it's a sinking feeling. Like you just don't know where the quad is. Strangely too, it's not triggering like my reaction to hit the GPS rescue, which is also not good. Like so I'll have to like work on that. Yeah, so it kind of stuttered and we went slow. Like right when I don't want it doing that, I'd rather deal with a little fuzz. Like I don't know, that's my take on it, is I prefer, for proximity, I prefer that the fuzz breakup. I feel like, to me, it's less nerve-wracking because I can still see what it is I lose information about like detail because it fuzzes out. You lose in pixels, but the pixels are still moving. They're not freezing up on you. And this is like, the pixels are still there, but they're not telling you any useful information. And that's what's unsettling about it, is you're getting information, but it's not useful information. And that red box warning thing, that doesn't come up quick enough. So that's like, I'm losing the information I need to fly without a good warning. So, what does that mean? I mean, clearly that means that, I'm going to take one more look here just for comparing detail, 720 versus 1080. But so what that means for me is that it's just trade-offs. It's like, if you want, I think the right system for flying proximity is HD0. Granted, I mean, I shouldn't say that quickly. Like, this is a pretty snap judgment. But my knee-jerk reaction here is, this is not the right system to fly proximity. I don't know, does 1080 really give you that much more there? See, I don't like that stutter. I'd rather just deal with some fuzz. me bring that in, kind of pushing that battery a bit. Yeah, I think I very much, oh shoot, I'm gonna cook this battery. Bummer, how far am I? I'm pretty far. Shoot. Well, if I have to ditch it. Oh man, this battery's toast. How far am I? Pretty far. Shoot. I'm gonna have to mark this battery as done. Yeah, I hear you. Sorry. Sorry, bud.
Telemetry lost.